I started a group around my niche. It has almost 4,000 members, and I can't seem to figure out how to place a product in front of them for full price sales. That's a common one.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm building a Facebook group. People are engaged. How the hell do I promote something?
For full price, too.
For full price. Well,
get it. All right, welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Brax Livecast. So, Steven, if you don't know, I've been doing this once a week, getting a guest in here. And for the past week or two, I've been doing PPC-focused content. So I said October is for PPC for some reason. Don't ask me why. But we're going to take a break from PPC because Q4 is very close, and we should be talking about how to be ready for Q4.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys are watching on Facebook, make sure to click the thumbs up so that other people can see this video and post your questions. We're going to answer them as they come. And if I post this in the future on YouTube, if you're watching it on YouTube, make sure you're in the Facebook group to ask these questions live, the Brax Amazon FBA group. And make sure to subscribe and click on the bell to get notified when I post these. And yeah, did I say everything I have to say? So we're sitting with Mr. Steven Black. If you guys don't know who he is, you're about to love this video. And if you know who he is, you're also about to love this video. So quickly, let me silent my phone while you share who you are.
Okay, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Steven Black. I have been a marketer for the better part of 13 years now. I have owned multiple businesses in the brick and mortar world and on and off of Amazon. I run multiple brands on and off of Amazon. And I came to Amazon as a marketer already. So a lot of the things that I do, a lot of the things that I talk about are things that you're not normally going to hear because I don't use the things that you'll typically find out about, like giveaways and rebates and all that kind of thing. The amount of keywords that I deal with are well above what a lot of people deal with. And Amazon is just one of my sales channels versus being the whole show. So that's the best way to go about it. I travel all over the world speaking about, marketing at different conventions. That's kind of it. So, I mean, I love talking about this stuff and want to help as many people as I can. And let's do it.
I saw your poster that made you look like a movie star.
Oh yeah. I was very, very flattered, actually. There's an event in Bangkok. It's called Affiliate World Asia. And it's kind of like the Super Bowl for marketers. Everybody that's running Facebook ads and all that kind of thing. It's 3,000 people.
Whoa.
And yeah, it's ridiculous. I've spoken in front of a few hundred before, but 3,000 people over 2 days is going to be a big one. So I've been asked to speak there among heavyweights of Amazon. And what's interesting is Samra, you mentioned that October is kind of PPC month. A lot of my talk at the Seller World Conference is about PPC and a lot of the things that you probably haven't heard about that I know a lot of people are doing, but we keep that very quiet.
You'll be talking about PPC?
Mm-hmm.
On Amazon specifically?
On Amazon specifically.
Interesting.
You see, I have so many things that I have going on that I just not talk about publicly at all.
Yeah.
No way. I'm very, very quiet like that. I don't want anybody to know.
Yeah, I like your new setup. You look like you're in a dungeon hiding somewhere.
I'm in my lair.
All right, guys. So we have 17 people watching. Let us know how the audio is. I think someone said the audio is good.
Yeah, audio looks
The
good.
comments don't really match on the phone and on the computer. It's confusing. Anyways, so we want to talk about, Steven, honestly, I'm selfish with these things, with these calls. Whenever I have a question, I go reach out to someone to help me, but instead of doing it privately, I do it in front of other people.
Mm-hmm.
So can you help me be ready for Q4? Here's my situation.
Okay.
And here's the situation of a lot of people in the group.
Sure.
We've either not done much email marketing.
Mm-hmm.
We know Amazon, either very well or well enough to sell. And maybe we've built a small list. So I built a small list on ManyChat and on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
The most I've done with this list is I've given them some content and then asked for a review and then some more content. But then at some point, I haven't talked to them in a while.
Okay.
So what I want to do is, how do I maybe build a new list where I'm not selling them something yet, because Q4 is not here yet, technically. And also, how do I talk to these older people that I haven't talked to in a while?
Okay, so you're asking two different questions there. You want to
Right.
know first, or I guess in reverse order. You want to know how to re-engage the old list, and tips on building the new one.
Yeah, and these are both questions that we got on
Right.
the post that we posted.
Okay, so what I would do, well, you have to understand it. If we're going to talk about email, all right, and for anybody that's interested in building a list, if you know me, you know I talk a lot about Facebook groups, but I also have many other social channels like Instagram. I have a few different YouTube channels. I have all this kind of stuff, but it's because that's where people want to talk to me. And I have multiple email lists with multiple flows going on because I have multiple brands. But if we're going to talk about email specifically, because each platform is different, what you have to understand about email is they do not want to read a story in email. They do not want to read a frickin' novel. Don't do it to them. Email, they are expecting you to tell them what to do. Your email should be as easy to understand as the Google home screen. It's that simple. So what I would do, if you're running a lander, or if you're not, you should probably look into running a lander, because you want to train people to be able to go to a spot so that they can
Put their email?
well, either they can put in their email. I'm trying to keep it very basic here, because I have a website. If the expanded version is, I have a deal of the day page, and every day in my email I give them a reason to go to the deal of the day page.
Okay.
And then the week of like Black Friday, or like I did for Prime Day, I put a letter of the giveaway code or the discount code or whatever it's going to be, the letter of the sale, each day on the deal of the day page.
So it's a page that's always the same, but it's
I'll run different things to it.
Yeah.
But what I'll do is, instead of just running, because most people don't have multiple products to run deals on. All right. So there's the issue. So how do we do email? It's very simple. Figure out how many days you have before when you want to start promoting, right? Let's say, it's what, the 9th of October. Let's say you get a month, 30 days. Okay. Open up a spreadsheet, use your best converting search term phrases, like your longer tails, and do a little hunting, do a little social listening, find out what people are talking about. Go to on that particular subject, go to Reddit, go to Instagram, go to YouTube, and figure out what kind of things people are talking about. See if you can pull 30 itty bitty little one-liners, 30 little bitty itty bitty topics. Okay. If you're selling a special dog harness, right? Okay. Why wouldn't you make the whole Game of Thrones meme, winter is coming? Tips, doggy tip of the day kind of thing, right? What you do with your email, you have a simple little tip in the email. Hey, did you know? Or you won't believe XYZ, because it's sort of like engagement bait, but it's not horrible engagement bait. You're genuinely talking about something. And what you do, once you have their attention, that's enough. Tell them what to do. I want you to click here, go to this lander, go to my group, go to the deal of the day page. Whatever you want them to do, tell them. It has to be self-evident. Okay. How many times have one of your friends given you like an email like this, and you're like, and you pick up the phone and you're like, what? I'm not reading that. Talk to me. It's the same thing. Like when we get like Facebook messages, especially as a group or a page owner, and they're like this long, I'm like, oh my God, email me.
Yes.
Just email me so I can like put it in a document and segment it out, and I'm not going to worry about it.
Or get to the point. It's like, what do you?
Yeah. Well, that's exactly how people feel in email. They say, okay, what is it? Where do I go? Think about this. I want everybody listening to do something real quick. All of your content, and this is a big tip, for your emails, for your listing copy, if you want to convert more, for whatever deal you're running. And I saw the comment there. No, every email subject does not have to be, did you know? All right. But the idea is, if you just make a little spreadsheet with that, guys, it's go day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, and you can load them in a drip feed and drip feed them out to people in your email. It's pretty easy, but you want to make sure it's pretty straightforward. Guys, I want y'all to do this experiment. Feel how your brain feels responding to these two questions. Ready? Number one, what's 2 + 2?
4.
You got it. Didn't even have to think. Didn't bother you. You're ready to go. What's 17 × 38?
A lot.
Your brain goes, wait, hold on. What? Right? If your customer has to do that at any touch point where they have to think, your competition is a click back. That's it. I don't want to deal with this email. What are they trying to talk about?
Yeah.
No way. Make it self-evident. And if it doesn't have to be, funny all the time. It doesn't have to be cute. It can just be something informative, like I know people that are selling supplements. Like, oh my gosh, how do I sell supplements? We talk about the lifestyle. Like, y'all see this hair that's going missing up here, right? My little daughter likes to give me a hard time all the time about how bald I'm going. And I'm like, Well, okay. There's a lot of guys that are having to deal, they're very secretly buying hair and nail supplements that all the girls that want long hair are buying, right? B12 and folate. Okay. What about hair loss tips? What about getting into digestion? What about getting into lifestyle? What about stress reducers? All those things are reasons I would want to start thinking about what else can I do to help my hair problem. That's the idea. That's your content. And it could be, a Facebook article, it can be an email, it can be whatever. And guys, if you write a blog, let's say, or if you have a Facebook page, if you have a group, okay, cool. You can put the expanded bit in an article, or before you do that, like a week before you hit your Facebook page or whatever, if it's the top 5 things you didn't know about men's hair loss, as an example, right? Okay, cool. What I would do is I would say tip number 1 is day 1 email. Tip number 2, day 2 email. Tip number 3, day 3 email, right? And then after I give my email list, the tips, then I would post the article on my page or my site. Does that make sense? Because you have to treat your email list as priority number 1. Otherwise, why the hell are they on your email list? Mm-hmm. And now here's the kicker. If you make it super easy, self-evident or self-explanatory is what you're after. Those are the 2, right? Self-evident is even better. Google, it only has the search bar. I know what to do here. If I go to Yahoo, I have search, I have sports scores, I have weather. What the hell do I want to do here? Make it self-evident in your email. All right? Or if they go to your lander, guess what? They're pixeled. They viewed the content. Run retargeting ads to that group. Or if you have a setup like Klaviyo or ActiveCampaign or something like that, I prefer Klaviyo myself. If you set up a flow, you can see who opened, and then set them on a separate flow. It's actual trigger. It's like an automation we do in ManyChat. If they open this, hit them with this flow over here where I'm promoting my B12 and folate. Ta-da! And you let everybody on the email list know, hey, make sure you're checking this page because we're going to run some things before Black Friday that aren't public. Ooh, make sure you open your email because it's coming. We're going to give it to you guys and not everybody else. Thank you for being on the email list. Ooh, makes them feel special, right? Yeah. And what you're really doing by training them to go to a certain spot or training them to get used to opening are a few different things. Number 1, if they engage with you, it's their idea to open. It's their idea to build the relationship. You're doing it on their grounds. Now, here's number 2. If you provide them with genuine insight that enhances their interest in whatever they're interested in, you've given them valuable information without them asking. It's kind of like you've done them a favor without them being able to say, no favors from me. And what that does is it puts them in a position to where they have to give reciprocity. When you make an offer, they're going to think a lot harder about it because they know who you are. They've actually talked to you. And a lot of your list will respond to an article just to see if it's just, some spam drip feed article. I do that all the time for things I'm actually interested in. I'll respond to like one of the actual articles. And when the person actually responds, I'm like, okay, cool. I can actually talk to this real person. And people love that because now you've made it their idea and you've made it their process of sniffing you out. And if they have an issue or they're on the fence, they know there's someone to ask questions to. That's how you work it. And then the week of, or the week before rather, I said, look, I beat them over the head every email. Say, here's your little tidbit of the day. And then every single day, do not miss, don't miss our it was Prime Day that this last was it June or July?
Yeah, Black Friday or
Black Friday. Said, do not miss this page this week, right? And what I would do, I think I have one of my brands I have set up this way. I have a coming soon page that I've already started like dripping little bits of information to, but I haven't given anyone the idea as to what they're going to be receiving. Okay, back to it then. So one of the things, all right, so we're all good. All right, thanks guys. We really appreciate that. So one of the things I'll do is say, I'll have a lander that has a coming soon with like little hints and things that you'll see from the email. And, sometimes I'll have, just little tidbits there. But what I'm doing is I'm telling people, do not miss this page the week of Black Friday. Don't miss it. And you put it in their mind that, hey, this is what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And that way it's their idea to open it and go to that page and see what's going on. They're ready for it.
Don't even have to get an email.
They know. They've bookmarked it. And I'm going to remind them in the email, what am I really doing there? It's called behavioral conditioning, operant behavioral conditioning. I am training my mice that they have to hit the lever to get the cheese. That's what I'm doing. I mess with their heads all the time. Every one of my audiences, absolutely. I want to control the perception. I want to control the behavior. I want it to be their idea to take the action. And if it's self-evident what I want them to do, and I've given them something really good that's actually helpful and not just regurgitated junk that they can Google themselves, they're gonna click. That's the reciprocation. They opened it. I gave them something good. They're going, okay, yeah, I'll click. Sure. Mm-hmm. Go ahead and click. Now you got mud on your foot, and I can retarget you with offers. Or
I assume you have 30 to 40 emails already set up for the next month and a half, 2 months.
Mine are through the end of the year already.
Okay, amazing.
Yeah. But to be fair, everybody that doesn't know me real well, I'm a writer. I do writing all day long. I write all day long. I love writing. So for me, when I get into a product and I set up a brand and all that kind of thing, this is all part of the process. When I get into it, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do a lot of social listening. I'm gonna figure out, at least 25 weeks worth of email lines and get that built out. It takes me about a week and a half, 14 days, week and a half, 2 weeks. I'm like, boom, I'm done for 6 months. I can just drip feed it to people. And then based on how they interact with those emails, they get kicked over to other flows, right? Like here's a pro tip for you when you want to build like an actual email list with quality. Get people to where they're going to give you their email list for whatever you want to give them, if it's like a PDF or it's a piece of content or whatever it is. But the first email you send them, make it an email confirmation. Don't give them what it is yet. Don't do it yet. Let them know, hey, this is just confirmation email. Your PDF, will be coming separately. Now, guess what? Everybody that opens that email gets kicked over to the master flow, and they're going to get the second email because they actually want to engage. Your 40 or 50% or whatever it is that doesn't open the first email, I don't want them. I don't want them at all because they're not interested really. They're like, okay, well, that's nice. And what that does is now you have a much higher quality email list that you can run offers to, or if you wanted to run them as a custom audience or lookalike audiences on Facebook, now you have a much higher quality list. Let them weed themselves out. It's an automation in most email platforms.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's how I would run that.
What's a tip to get emails into people's actual inbox, not to the promotion or the other tabs?
What I would do is there is an email checker. I have a link to it in the unit in my group.
Yeah.
You asked me this like I think it was like 6 months ago or something like that.
Oh, true.
Yeah. But what you can do is, we talked about the subject lines earlier. They do not have to be, hey, you won't believe this, because it sounds spammy.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing. But if you say, just be straightforward, 5 things, like if we're talking about the dog harness thing, 5 things you can do to make sure your dog is ready for winter.
I think someone posted a few subject lines with the open rate. Do you see it in the comments? It's like,
yeah, how's it going? Did you get it? Surprised? Do you remember me? Yeah. Now the thing is, your email headlines are going to be different than if you're writing an ad headline or if you're going to be titling a YouTube video.
100%, yeah.
Yeah, it could be. So if you go and look at one of these like headline generators or something like on BuzzSumo, not necessarily for email, all right? For email, because it's more personal, you want to make it like something that they're talking about. So this is where I'll go and I'll use some of my main, high converting search terms, and I'll go to Reddit or somewhere like that, or Quora, or Ask the Public, or whatever it is, and I'll search that, and or other Facebook groups, and I'll see, okay, here's what comes back. What are people talking about around this subject? Can I find 5 or 10 for each little search term? Guess what? There's 5 or 10 weeks worth of content. Boom. And here's a copywriting tip, and where I'm going with this. You want to join the conversation that's already happening in their minds. Very, very famous quote. It's Robert Collier. He was a master copywriter decades ago. But if you join the conversation already happening in their mind, it's like you're a friend recalling a memory. That's the point. So that's what you want to do. So don't be afraid to go and say, what are people talking about? Because what people are talking about, how the hell do you think they're searching for your products on Google or Amazon, or they're Googling something about it to know what to search for when they want to go buy it on Amazon?
There's a good site for that. I think it's called Ask the Internet, or
it's Ask the Public.
Ask the Public. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You put in like a keyword, and then it shows you all the questions that people are asking.
Yeah. And so that's one of the sources that I use for social listening. One of the places that I run part of my keyword process on. For all of you listening, if I include Helium-10, because that's a very popular tool, I have well over 30 different sources that I check compiling keywords.
Mm-hmm. 30.
So yeah, well over 30 actually. So there's something to think about.
Yeah.
But that's the idea. And it's not just things to bid on for PPC. It's things to say, okay, subject lines. What are people talking about? What do they really want to know about? Can I read between the lines? If they're having an issue with this, where is that really coming from? Can I backtrack and say, well, this actually all started over here. So if we can talk about this issue, you're going to be better off. Like, does that make more sense?
Yeah.
So that's something I'll do. And it also helps me figure out a little more, I guess you want to say conversational type language on my listing, because I can say, okay, here's what's converting. Here's my converting phrases, that out of my search term report. So I can start including that in my listing when I rework things and optimize it. But initially, how do I make it to where people can read it?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Super pro tip. I almost forgot. For God's sake, all of your emails, run them through Hemingway or Grammarly or Readable, please. You are looking for something called the Flesch Kincaid score. Guys, you want like 6th grade to 8th grade kind of stuff. Where people read Harry Potter, that's where the magic happens, okay? That makes it to where people can actually understand what you're saying. That's magic, because guess what? If they can't understand what you're trying to say, they're going to go, back click. And if they don't know who you are and they're not going to talk to you, you can't sell them.
Yeah. Do you know Ryan Moran?
Do what now?
Do you know Ryan Moran?
I know of Ryan Moran.
I think he's one of the only people that I'm actually interested in his emails. He sends a lot of emails, and he keeps it very short. The text is very big, and it's like one sentence and then a lot of space, and he keeps it very basic. And
so here's something with that. The reason you use a lot of space is because you're framing what you want people to look at.
Yes.
If you look at certain ads, that have eyeballs in them, if the eyeball is looking directly at the camera, you're more likely to stop scrolling. But if the eyeball is looking at something in the image, your eyes are going to go there. And that's on Facebook ads, it's on billboards, that's on anywhere. right? So when you use that white space and big font, you're making it format proof. It's on a phone. If it's an older person reading it on a phone, that's maybe not very good with it, right? That's what you want. Here's what it is. It's grandpa proof. Here's what I want you to do. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Next. That's the idea.
So someone in the group asked, what do you do if you have a list of people that have not engaged with you in a while? How do you bother them without bothering them?
How do you bother them without bothering them? Well, number one, you don't ask for anything.
Right.
So when you want to restart the fire, don't hit them with the fire hose. I would start with like 2 emails a week, but oh my God, be consistent.
Yeah.
Be consistent. And what I would do is I would run 2, maybe 3 emails a week for like 6 weeks. And anybody that click, move them over to the master list. They're still interested. And everybody else, cut them.
Yeah.
You're just pruning the list, because you're going to use your list for more than just emailing people. You're going to use you can upload that and run Facebook ads to it. You can run special promotions to them. You can do all kind of stuff, right? Email is so good. So yeah, very, very, very big on that one.
All right, guys, if you have any questions, post them below, because I'm going to start finishing my questions and looking at your questions. So if you have any questions, post them in the chat. Do you have any questions from your end that you want to answer before the ones that are live?
I have. So everybody that's watching this that posted in the question threads in both of our groups, we have those up. And we'll get to those before.
We've answered like 2 so far.
Yeah.
Pretty general.
So here's one that I get that's pretty common, right?
Yeah.
It's from my group. Trevor Watkins asked this. He says, I started a group around my niche. It has almost 4,000 members, and I can't seem to figure out how to place a product in front of them for full price sales.
Mm-hmm.
That's a common one.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm building a Facebook group. People are engaged. How the hell do I promote something?
For full price, too.
For full price. Well, have you actually tried make a good creative, put the product out there, say, hey guys, I don't want to go too deep right now, because I want to make sure we have time for everything, because I know if I go, I'm going to go. But what I would do is I would look and say, hey, here's what you do. You have a warm audience already. Use your testimonials to help promote the product to the group.
Yeah.
That's how you do it, because it's a warm audience already. They're already engaged. Say, hey guys, lots of people in this group have already bought this. Wanted to show you guys what people are talking about. Thank you so much for all of you. We really appreciate it. For those of you that don't have it and are interested, check this out right here. This is what people are saying. Boom.
Yeah.
Because what's happening is you're reframing the context. If you offer them a product and they don't understand what to value about it because you haven't suggested anything, well, the only thing they can go on is price as a commodity. Mm-hmm. That's it, right? But if you reframe it and say, hey, here's what everybody else said about it. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you, blah, blah, blah. You're making it more of a thank you kind of thing. And for anybody that hasn't heard about this wonderful thing that everybody has in your group, oh, well, here's where to get it. I don't want you guys left out. You haven't talked at all about price.
Yeah.
And if everybody else has already bought it and they love it and you can see the reviews, why the hell are they asking for a discount?
Yeah. Yeah, I do that a lot on Instagram in my stories. I post either reviews from everyone or just resharing what people say about the product. And then I go like link in bio.
Absolutely. So guys, if you're not doing it, testimonials to a warm audience are the best converting ad copy. It just is.
And you're not doing any work, you're just quoting someone.
Yeah. And you want to make an appealing image. You want to make it appealing and you want to make it look nice. But if you use other people's testimonials, you're just shout out thank you and letting other people in on the little secret. Mm-hmm. So there you go.
Let me see. I had another question from the post. It was someone asked, how do I rank on keywords without having to do a bunch of refunds and a bunch of rebates?
Oh boy. Well, if you don't want to run a bunch of if you don't want a bunch of rebates, then don't. Have patience. What you have to do, if you want more sales, there's only so much of each keyword you're ever going to get. You have to scale horizontally and test more keywords. But you also have to know how to read your search term and campaign performance reports. I warehouse all the data. I go back 60 days every week. And I have my little workflow and I go through them and I trim it, things that aren't working. But when we talk about, let's say we're running external traffic, we're running Facebook ads, or we're running from a group or something like that, and I don't want to run refunds, okay, then don't. Yeah. But what you have to realize is that you have to give people a reason to value your product. The problem with advertising, and there's a lot of big media buyers that I know that have this problem, and they're trying to figure it out, and I keep having to talk to them about it. Most people offer a product to their audience when the audience is not problem aware and product seeking. Mm-hmm. Because you know what? If I have a real problem, I don't give a damn what I have to pay. I need it, right? I mean, that's just what it is. But most people don't know they're sick and therefore can't buy the medicine. It's your job to make them sick. See, it's the way I think about it. My content, I'm making people sick so that they can buy the medicine. Sounds terrible, but it's the freaking truth. I don't play fair at all. But that's the thing. So value, guys, is a completely irrational emotional thing. Completely irrational. And so you have to know how to reframe things and make things more valuable to people. Yeah, that's the idea. But when I want to run full price stuff, guys, people that pay full price, we all want that. They're going to cost more. So if you want to run Facebook ads to those people, you're going to have to set up something more. You can't do it with just a landing page. You have to have a full site, be able to run purchase conversions, and it's going to be expensive. Yeah, just as because everybody wants that. And the real big boys that are doing this have a hell of a lot more ad spend than you, and they know what they're doing. They create a lot more creative, a lot more content, all that kind of thing. Like my basic testing process when I run Facebook ads, like just my test bed. So there's two different phases. I want to test copy and creative, find out what the winners are, put those on an incubator, and then my scaling profitable campaigns, I'm pulling things from the incubator because I know they're winners while I'm still testing over here. And so we get people that say, okay, well, I have a few ads running, 2 or 3 or 4 ads. I'm running 60 ads at a time.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah. Well, each campaign has about $100 a day behind it, but I'm running 5 ad sets, right? 5 different audiences. And each one of those audiences, campaign number 1 is going to be 5 different ad sets, 5 different audiences, but then that's going to be creative number 1. Yep. Then I go to campaign number 2, those same 5 audiences, creative number 2. Mm-hmm. And then I go down and I do that because I don't know which combination is going to be right, but that's testing. Yep. But you're running purchase conversions to those people, or if you want to run Facebook ads like I run them, you better be ready to run content and you get people to engage with the content and then either go to your page or engage with the post or whatever it is. And it's not just running engagement ads either. But the point of it is you want to build your audience on your page, and then you can make a custom audience on Facebook that's anybody that engages with a post or an ad. And you can go back as far as 365 days. Run your offers to those people. Run your secondary and third and fourth steps of content to those people. And we had a question in the group, how do you run things to higher ticket offers? If I'm having a higher price product, or if I have some $1,000 something I'm selling, it's a longer process. Love them more. Date them longer. You're asking for more of a commitment. Date them longer. That's what you want to do. Hit them with content. Let it be their idea. Mm-hmm.
Well, I could just talk about dating a lot. I had someone else, I think on the first episode, and we talked about how she used marketing to help people date, and now she uses dating to help people market. Or
it's a pretty easy analogy because most people, if you're running traffic to a cold audience, it's the experiment. Can you stand out on a street corner and ask 100 people for a phone number? You might get 1, maybe 2, but the rest of the time you're going to get dirty looks and smacked. Like, No. And see, the thing is, the reason I have everything set up the way that I have and I run so much content was a few reasons. But the biggest one is I don't want to chase people.
Yeah.
I'm not chasing anybody. I'm going to make my content, let my freak flag fly, and let all the freaks find me.
Yeah.
That's it. So when you do that, you'll have your offers already set up. People's behavior puts them in the way of that offer. I'm not chasing anybody. I have it set up and I run content and go. Let people come in, they will buy it. It's their idea.
Yep.
And so that way the customer experience is what sells people versus me using price as a commodity. I never use price as a commodity because no matter what, if you get a steep discount, you're waiting for the sky to fall. You're going to try to say, okay, well, maybe it's not as good as it could be, but it's okay because I'm tight on money, right? Now, it should also be said, and I see the as a tangent, I see the comments coming in on the live stream, so I'm going to answer those in just a second after I just say this next part.
Yeah.
So, guys, there is a bit of psychology called a heuristic, right? A heuristic is things that people know and they can just calculate without having to do all the data analysis in their head. If I throw you a ball, can you catch a ball? Without knowing the rate of descent, the velocity, blah, 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 blah. It's a heuristic, right? So there's a Goldilocks heuristic. It's what it's called. It's the three choices. We've heard of price decoys. You know, you've heard of that principle if you've read a little bit. So you have three choices, right? If I do this, if I say, okay, Sammer, which of the three do you want? Well, now you got to think. It's kind of like in the very beginning when I asked you what's 17 times 38. You go, well, kind of this and kind of that, and that's okay. If instead I say, Sammer, would you like this? Alternative, you could have B or C. I say, no, that one's fine. Now, if I want to frame that, I put it in the middle because 70 to 80% of people are going to buy the item in the middle, right? The people that want the nicest of something or the people that are cash heavy, they're going to buy the nicer thing. And only people that are extremely tight are going to buy the cheapest.
Mm-hmm.
The price is not everything. If I can reframe something and I can get you off a price, dude, oh my God. And we talk about like driving, like with copy and content, all this kind of thing. We talk about, get the emotion. You got to hit the pain points. Well, the biggest thing that people miss is the pain of inaction. I don't need to tell you how bad it is. You're living that. You can get this or you cannot and keep struggling. Your choice.
All right, let's get into the questions.
Yeah. All right.
Say hi to people first. Let's see who's in here. Ooh, a lot of people. What's up, Mamoon? What's up, Omar? What's up, Najib? What's up, Michael? What's up, Sufyan? What's up, Joe? Aaron says, I pulled around 4,000 names, addresses from my FBA orders. I created a 40-second video ad to run on Facebook with a 25% off unique code through ManyChat Flow. I burned $60 or so and got just one subscriber. Anything I can do to retarget this same group without selling at 90% off? My purpose is to get sales that run into farmed reviews. All of my products are related, so I know the same audience is interested.
All right, rock and roll. So Aaron, your 40-second video is probably going to be too much. People aren't going to watch that. There's part of the reason. Also, make sure that your campaign objective is Messenger, because a lot of people will run something else and try to get Messenger that way. All right. When you're running things to a cold audience, it's the same as the email. Make it quick, make it concise. Think edutainment. All right. It's like goldfish attention span. Get them within the first few seconds and they'll watch a little more, but get to the point. That's what you want. So when we do that, run them to your Messenger ad that way. If you're running a Messenger objective and you chop down the ad and get a little more to the point, you'll probably be able to pull subscribers in for well under $2. I mean, depending on what the product is. If it's a high-end product, if it's like, well over $100, that's going to be a little different. But then you also have more room to get subscribers in that way. That's how I would go about that. And guys, remember, the less product aware, the less used to your brand they are, the less problem aware they are, you have to give them more reason, and that means more content. But that does not mean more content in one step. Does not mean that. If you make a 45-second video and you have 3 points and each point is 15 seconds, good, that's 3 videos. Get with it. Get them in. I would run that to the exact same audience again and get them going that way. You have to talk to them. Once you get them in the ManyChat flow, you can run your broadcast to bring them to the page because you're not promoting anything. Hey, have you seen this that we posted on the page? That's why you run a page, is so you can have a reason to message people and say, hey, check this out on the page. Because once they click OK, now you get your 24 hours. So that's how I run that one. Right? And with 4,000 people, definitely do that again. That's a great number. That's perfect number for like a lookalike audience, a perfect number to run ads to if you're running something that's a little warmer. And just because they bought from you doesn't mean that they're going to remember who they bought from on Amazon, because there's so many of us that sell.
Right. They just know they bought from Amazon.
Do what?
They just know they bought from Amazon.
Yeah, that's all it really is.
Yeah. So I just did this yesterday, actually. I put in a list of 3,000 or 3,500 customers, and I created a lookalike audience, and I'm running an ad to them now, but it hasn't fired up at all. There's no data yet.
Oh my God. Oh, dude, Facebook right now.
That's normal.
Oh God, it's terrible right now. There's like, I have ads in review for like 2 days right now.
It's not in review. It's just no data. Nothing's happening.
Yeah, no, and it's been bad. Like Facebook has owned up that they're having issues. It's kind of broken at the moment, but this is also why we have multiple channels that we advertise on.
Yeah.
So there's something there. All right. So I guess are you reading the questions from the live?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
What's up, Emma? What's up, Alex? So Alex says, when you create content for your audience, do you care about your competitors' content? I have a really big competitor which has a lot of nice and unique content, like a lot of YouTube videos and exercises. Copy his content, but make it easier to understand, or should I try to find a very different angle? It's in the healthcare niche, so it's not like 5 dog exercises.
I got you. All right, rock and roll. You don't have to copy his content. You can remix it. How many different fitness gurus are there on YouTube and Instagram? The reason that they have the followers that they do is because of their personality. It's how they make it. So if you make it easier to understand and avoid technobabble, right? That's the idea. Like if you guys want to see what the hell technobabble is and talking all about like industry type terms, go to YouTube and look up Athlean X.
Okay.
It's horrible. The guy knows what he's doing as far as exercise.
Yeah, I know that guy. Yeah.
Like, oh my God, he talks all about like the muscles and the bones and like, this is like going to affect your supraspinatus. And I'm like, dude.
Yeah. But he's huge.
Yeah, but he runs a crap load of content and it's consistent. And once he gets to it, it's easy to understand. But you have to understand, he's also a physical therapist. It's just how his brain works. That's where his channel came from. But there are also plenty of people that have huge following that aren't like that. So don't be afraid to talk about something and make it your own. Think about how many people in the Amazon space talk differently about PPC. How many different Amazon groups are there? How many different people are talking about different ways to run the rebates and launch and everything else? Yeah, that's the whole point. Don't be afraid. Make it yours. You do not need an entirely different angle. Like you don't need to figure out like, here's this thing for healthcare and then, okay, well, we're going to do it in the water. Like, no. Don't do that. Make it easy for people to understand. That's what you want. If, like Sammer talked about earlier with Ryan Moran's emails, if you can make it to where it's super easy to understand, they open it and then there it is and you're good to go, that's what you want.
Yeah, you want to figure out what people are actually interested in clicking on. And one way to do it is to talk to them as much as possible. Like on Instagram, have a full conversation with them on anything. I talk a lot to my influencers, people that I run deals with, and I talk to them about like how to grow as an influencer. I help them with algorithm stuff, and then now they want to help me more. But then I also understand like what their audience wants, what people are interested in clicking on. Because you might think that 5 tips of this is interesting, but then look at 5 tips of anything on the Amazon topic on YouTube. People are not interested.
Yep.
That's why I haven't done a 5 tips on anything in a while on YouTube.
Right.
Want to see what people are doing, how people are failing, stories.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, listicles work. Don't get me wrong.
But if they're interested in the exact topic.
Yeah, so you have to do some social listening there and know what people are interested in, like we've talked about a few times. So that's a way to fire it up. All right, next question. Let's keep
Someone
moving.
said you skipped my question. Please post it again because I'm trying to go one after the other. If I didn't answer your question, just post it again and we'll answer it for sure.
Right.
Alex says, very different question. How would you create content for a clothing brand so you can build an audience first and let them create the products and have them involve them in the developing process?
Easy.
Their design.
Easy. So I have a couple of print-on-demand brands that I run,
your area.
which is kind of like what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Make your content about the lifestyle.
Yeah.
Make your content all about the lifestyle. Like if you want to run like skater style clothing, that's what you need to talk about. You need to go deep and understand what those guys talk about, what's important to them, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't have to be like skater tutorial kind of stuff. Like what bands are they interested in? You know, what brands of shoes are they interested in? Like find out like what about them that they like to talk about and make content about that kind of stuff. All right. People want to buy from people that they think are the most genuine and most understand them. They want to be able to step into somebody's shoes and buy from one of us. That's the idea. So for your clothing brand, make it about the lifestyle. Then what you do for your group as you build that for developing products, I do this all the time. You say, hey guys, I have some samples I want to give out to you guys. We're trying to develop this thing. We would love some feedback on this. You know, I want to send it out to 5 people. So if you're interested in that, put your name down here. We'll do a drawing, blah, blah, blah. And you DM those people, send it to them, have them give feedback into the group. If it's good, now everybody else wants it. And it's coming from one of the other group members. So everybody's like, oh, damn, I didn't get one. Now I want one. But if it's bad, you can say, this is what's wrong with it. And that's fantastic when that happens.
Yep.
For 2 reasons. Number 1, it saves you money. Number 2, they know you're human. Because you say, oh, man, didn't even think about that. So sorry. All right, we're going to try it again. You know, if this is what they found, what else would you guys think about? I do this with Amazon products too, physical products too. Absolutely. Get the samples, run it to the group and say, hey, what do you guys think? If it sucks or I'm missing something, say, oh, well, it would be nice if it had this too. No shit. Oh, yeah. Oh, man, it would be great if it had that. Oh, yeah. Bingo. You've told on yourself. Now I know what to do. I give them pictures. I update them. Say, hey guys, talk to the supplier. We're doing this. We'll have some more samples for everybody to check out. Now they're all excited because they're helping develop the product. They want it.
Yeah.
The idea. And so you can do that over and over and over and over again. It's not hard.
Yes. There's a related question that came from your group. Someone asked about I think they were struggling with growing their Facebook group, their niche group. So any tips on growing the group?
Yeah, it's because you can't advertise groups directly.
Yeah.
So there's 2 ways to do this. 3 really. Number 1, get involved in other groups first. So you find out who the authorities are in the niche, go in and contribute to their groups, right? Most of you have found me because I contribute in other groups.
I was going to say that's exactly what you did. Now you have a 7,000 member group.
My group is actually I've gone past most of them. I'm at 8,300 and I have 105 people waiting to join today.
Wow.
So we'll be close to 8,500 when I get off of this.
That's
and my decline rate's like 60%, by the way, in my group, and just that group. But anyway, so what you can do, if you run your group, run a page with it. This is number 2. All right. Put a pinned post at the top of the group or top of the page. Hey, most of our content is in our group. Free to join. Check it out right here. Right. And what happens is you run an engagement ad to get people to come to your page. Because remember, anybody that engages with the ad, you can retarget them and keep hitting them so they come to the page. Once they like the page, you boost that pinned post to anybody that likes the page and their friends. And that's how you can farm people to get into the group. You can usually get them for under $1. It's pretty easy to do. And when you start getting a lot of people, I mean, I have group entrants that I run the same circle to, and it's like 15 cents a head or something like that I'm getting people into the group. The other thing, you can do the same exact thing with a ManyChat flow. So if you're in a messenger ad, like you guys are doing with some of your search, find, buy stuff, you can run a messenger flow, hey, here's some simple content. If you're interested in more, click the link below. They go to Messenger. Hey, here's the link to our free group where we post a lot of this fun stuff. Join here. Anybody that clicks, they go to the application, they're in, boom, done. Easy stuff. Easy stuff. And the cool thing is, when you get people that join like that, you can target people that you actually want to sell to versus like people that think social proof is likes and they run into like, a third world country and like, oh, I got like 10,000 likes. I'm like, no, you didn't. You ruined your data pool there. Yeah. So that's how you do that. The pin post method works really, really well. And then the ManyChat flow works pretty well too. And make it super simple. Say, hey, if you want to join, here's what our group is about. Click here to join. Boom, done. Thank you so much. Thank you. And that's how you do that. Pretty straightforward, right?
Yeah.
And if you do all three of them, it's even faster.
Also, just any way to incentivize them to get into the group. The way that I'm doing these lives, people that are watching on YouTube now, they want to join the group to ask questions.
Yeah, it's the same thing. You can make if you have video going or if you have content going, all of my articles on my site at the bottom, I say we'll talk about it more. Answer you guys' questions in the group and have a link to the group. Same thing on all the YouTubes. See you guys in the comments. If you want to know more, join the group. We'll talk to you there every day.
Okay.
Pretty straightforward. But then you have to be there. Now, the question I get a lot that we should bring up is, oh my gosh, how the hell are you online all the time to answer the questions all day long? Well, I have a dashboard. I use a program. It's a social dashboard. It's called eClincher, eClincher. It's same as like Hootsuite or Sprout Social or something like that. But the reason I like this one is because it connects to all my platforms, and any of the groups that I admin, I get that in the inbox as well. So all my comments from YouTube, any group that I admin, any page that I run, my personal profile, all my Instagram business accounts, all of the comments come to one place, and I can respond and click done, respond and click done, respond and click done.
So you don't see any other distraction.
I don't have to hunt all those effing windows on my desktop or on my no. I done.
Yeah, we talked about this in Vancouver. I still haven't tried it, but I need to try it.
And the other cool thing in that program is it has Google Analytics tied into it. So not only can I see the comments, I can see what the hell is going on my site.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, let's go back to the questions.
Back to the questions. Let's go.
Arthur says, I got to bounce, but my question is time management. Oh, maybe we just answered it. Without a long answer, that'll take away from content creation. How do you segment your time? Hourly, daily, weekly tasks. What if you go over time? Do you remain on point or push that task? Do you have weekly, monthly goals?
Watch. Here's the thing. Time management. You need to know 4 things. All right. And there's a book you're all going to buy tonight. Okay. This is how it's going to do. If you really want to know time management is not how to cram more crap into your day. You did not get into Amazon trying to get out of your 9 to 5 to cram more crap into your day. What you're trying to do is make enough money to where you can have free time. But because most of us want more money, we will try to get money all day long as possible, as long as the money's coming in. Not what you want to do, right? So there's a law. It's called Parkinson's Law. And what Parkinson's Law is the work will fill the time allowed for it. If you have time available, you'll find crap to do.
Yes.
Don't do it. Say, this is all I'm going to do, and the rest of it, I'm going to have to figure it out. It's like living on less money. You can figure it out if you absolutely have to. I want to get more done in less time so I have more free time. Now, how you do that, you have to figure out what the one thing is that makes the whole operation go.
Is that the book, The One Thing?
No. The book for everybody is called Clockwork by Michael Michalowicz. Get the book.
So your one thing is writing.
Do what? No, my one thing is not necessarily writing. My one thing is I have to touch people every day.
You posted something about that recently that made me laugh.
Right, I did. People like it when I touch them. They love them when I touch them often. Right? But the thing about it is, and this is for all my brands. It's not just the Unstoppable group. But I want to touch them. I'm going to write something because it's what I like to do, but I'm going to make sure I touch people every day. So every task that's not that, the graphic stuff, putting stuff in the feeder so it will drip publish everywhere. Let them deal with that. I'm not doing it. The accounting, I'm not doing it.
As tempting as it may be to play around with Photoshop.
No, it's not. It's not tempting. And so in the book, he talks about finding what your queen bee role is. So the queen bee, her job is to reproduce. That way the beehive keeps going. The queen herself can be replaced, but that function cannot. And he has it mapped out. Here's how you find out what it is, and you go. And so all I have to focus on every day is I write and we get the content out and I touch people. That's it. So those of you that have heard me talk about thank you videos, that's touching people. That's the whole job. If you set a business up to where it can run without you, if I do this, money will find us.
Yep.
I've given it to my team. They have this. She does the messages. She just figure it out. That's what it is. That book will help you unscrew yourself with your time. And whether it is you're trying to do more on Amazon, or you're trying to get a personal goal done, or whatever it is, that's the book.
All right, Arthur, I hope that helped you.
Yeah. Dude, Arthur, if you have any questions, do DM me. And
Arthur is a very good copywriter.
Yeah.
He writes beautifully.
When you talk to Arthur, ask him, about that path.
Okay.
I might have thrown him that way last year sometime, but he's very, very good. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Ahab says, great stuff, boys. Thanks, Ahab. PPC question. Do you use Amazon's suggested bid as the max bid for the keywords, or is there a better way to not overbid on keywords?
Rock and roll. Okay, so for suggested bids, my PPC, I run it as a life cycle. So I have a research phase and I have a profitable phase, and I'm protecting the profitable phase as much as I can. I only want my best converting and highest click-through keywords and search terms to go in there. They have to prove themselves, so I set up a test bed first. All right. When I run my auto discovery campaign, 75-cent bids. Right. I don't care what the suggested bid is. When I'm running research and I just want to buy data, I don't have impressions and clicks to know what's winning and what's not. Everything in any of the ad groups that I'm running, I don't care if it's a reverse ASIN from a competitor. I don't care if it's Amazon suggested keywords. It could be a list from Google Trends. Whatever it is, $1.50. That's all I'm. Because I'm not buying sales necessarily. I'm buying data. What is going to show promise? Then I can move that to the profitable campaign. When I'm going profitable, what I'm going to run, where I start getting into adjusting the bidding, I go suggested bid plus 50%. That's it. And then as it comes in and it starts showing profitable, I'll back it down each week 10 cents to find the sweet spot of where I need to be bidding versus what sales are coming in.
So you have different campaigns and you move keywords around?
Yes. Yeah. So the idea is I have some campaigns that are research. There's my hand. Research phase, right? So I'll run my keywords through there, and when I'm setting up a new product, thousands of keywords that I'll test, thousands, because if you have 30 lines in the water and I have a few thousand, chances are I'm going to find something that you're not.
Not in one campaign.
So my research campaigns, right? People get campaigns and ad groups screwed up, in my opinion. I have a very, very simple account structure. All right. I have 3 research campaigns, broad, phrase, exact. My ad groups are where I separate competitor number 1, competitor number 2, Google Trends, this list that I got, that I compiled maybe on Reddit, doing frequency analysis or something like that. Okay, boom. Helium 10's magnet is another one. Those are ad groups. Okay, fine. I'll put them in a list and I'll kind of deduplicate. Like if I'm running everything, I'll say, okay, well, if it's like the same 3 words and all this, one time. It doesn't need to be 3 different things. But I separate them by ad group because now I have control of negative exact matching in the different ad groups. So that's how I'm going to run that. Now, if something comes back out of the search term report and the campaign performance report that's profitable, yeah, I'll pull that from whatever ad group it was in and whatever match type it was in, I'll move that over to profitable. And what I do is I separate my campaigns on the profitable side by my ASINs. So whatever variants I have. Let's say I'm selling red shoes, green shoes. So I only have 2 ASINs. We'll keep it simple. Okay, cool. Broad, phrase, exact under each ASIN. If I have a phrase match that's doing really, really well in one of the research ad groups, I'm going to pull that one down. I'm going to put it over here. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Right. But the other thing people have to understand is a lot of people get heavy in exact matching and this kind of thing. I won't be honest, unless the phrase has a descriptive modifier on it, I'm not exact matching shit. No way. Not on research. Right. So think about this. If I'm looking for dog harness, that's one thing. But I'm not going to exact match that. Oh, that's like a 30,000 search a month thing. Who gives a shit? It doesn't have buying intent. Right? If I see retractable dog harness, small dog, or retractable dog harness. Okay, cool. Blue retractable dog harness. Oh!
So your exact are more long tail keywords.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's interesting to see how different people do it very differently, and everyone.
Right. But here's the thing. I can go and I can look through all the Amazon stuff. I can look through, I can look on Google and find what long tails people are doing. I can do some SEO research and find what long tail phrases people are doing. I think the last site that I set up, we started with like 6 or 7 or 8 terms and like 8 or 9 descriptive modifiers. And we came up with like 800 combinations to test. And what we did is we found the top 10 sites and put that list against those sites and found, were they ranking at all for these? How many hits a month were they getting on these words? Okay, boom, guess what? There's some long tail words that nobody's thinking about. Run those in your ad groups and guess what? Now I'm the only person bidding on something because you're not thinking about it. Or I can rearrange my listing to where I have that phrase in there that you're not even showing for organically. That's just another gimme for me. That's one of the things I'm talking about. So for me, exact is going to be the most relevant. So everybody says, okay, well, I want to hammer on this one. Okay, well, that's nice, but unless that's buying intent, get out, right? I'm not worried about it. I would rather have, I would rather own 10 4,000 keyword a month searches that have high buying intent than be near the top for a 40,000 one, because guess what? People still research on Amazon. Men's sunglasses. Ooh, I'm ranking for men's sunglasses. That's nice. I'm not looking for men's sunglasses. I need to know what's out there. Mm-hmm. Ooh, these bamboo men's sunglasses look really cool. Well, okay. Well, now that has more buying intent. That's how you use your exacts.
Makes sense.
That's the idea.
Last week I had a call with Destiny. I'm not sure if you've heard of her, but she...
Of course I have. She's very good.
Yeah, she's awesome. She works with 7 and 8 figure sellers and she does their PPC. She has a very different strategy, almost opposite. She doesn't move keywords around because she wants to keep the history and she doesn't want to restart from scratch. She separates so much. But I guess what works for you...
Hold on. We agree on that on the profitable campaign. That's what my profitable campaign is.
Right.
I'm protecting that from the up and down and whatnot on the research side. That's the whole point of separating them for me. For the profitable side, I want to protect my click-through rate, my conversion rate at each mile marker. So 7 days, 30 days. I want to make sure I work that thing every week so that when I get to the 180-day mark, the 6-month mark, and then the 1-year mark, good luck. Come after me. So I'm protecting the history, but I'm doing it on the profitable campaign side. So I can separate researching new terms over my research campaign. So I just keep them separate that way, but protecting the timeline and protecting them for a longer duration, 1,000,000% agree. Yeah. And it's something that Brian Johnson does a lot as well.
I think your strategy is from him, right? Or from someone.
A lot of my strategy is based on stuff that he teaches too. Yeah. Okay. And then some of the stuff that I learned doing Google AdWords.
So the principles are very similar, or even the same maybe, but it's just the way you do it is different.
Yeah.
Whatever works for you. That's what we always have to say. Yeah. All right, questions?
More questions.
Where did we go? Alex, what is the average ACoS after 3 months of PPC with your strategy, Stephen? Or is that hard to say in general?
It really kind of depends on the margin of the product, but you usually the research campaign lasts anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks, and then the profitable stuff starts spilling out after that. So after that, my profitable stuff, I'm usually somewhere in the 20s, sometimes lower. Like on some of my longer tail stuff, you can get down closer to 10%, something like that. And then some of the weird stuff I find, the little unicorns here and there, you can get down into single digits. You're not going to get a ton of volume, but single digit ACoS is not a bad thing at all. So,
guys, if you have any last questions, let us know. We're ending it soon because I have to go.
And anybody that didn't get their questions answered, I will do my best to type out answers to the questions so that you get your questions.
Repost them now so I can see them now. So go.
Yeah, as a thank you for being involved in all of this. I want to make sure that everybody gets their stuff done.
Here's a good question.
Go ahead.
Najib says, as a new Facebook advertiser, how do you segment your advertising budget between PPC and Facebook ads to run both at the same time and still be left with a healthy profit for your product?
Okay, if you're new to Facebook advertising, you're not going to be profitable. Not on Facebook. So what I would do is and this goes for anything. If you want to start a new channel, okay, if you want to start Facebook ads or Google ads or Google shopping ads or YouTube ads, or if you're trying to get on Amazon, or if you're trying to learn more about it, if you don't have a lot of experience, you have to spend the least amount of money to experiment and get that experience. That it's kind of like business school, but hands-on. So if I were doing this, if I were running PPC and it was going well, I would chop off maybe 10 to 15% of my budget or out of my profits, and I would start running Facebook ads that way. Because Facebook ads are not just putting an ad on Facebook. You have to have a whole process. It's the ads are actually 1% of what's going to contribute to your sales.
It's so different from Amazon.
It's entirely different. Because on Amazon, it's all keywords. Yeah. You don't have to worry about customer experience. With Facebook, your copy, where they are as far as is knowing about your brand, how warm are they? What is your website experience like? Are you writing to a lander? Are you writing to a website? What's your offer like on there? How clear is it? You don't have to worry about any of that on the Amazon platform and running PPC. And that's why a lot of people that say, okay, what's the next channel I can jump into after PPC? I always tell them Google search ads. Because the skill set is extremely similar. What you want to do is, if you're making money, take 10 to 15% of your money and say, I am going to absolutely burn this to the ground learning Facebook ads. That's how you do it. I'm going to test this and see if it works. And guys, start small. If you say you made $1,000 for the month, cool. Run Facebook ads for 5 days at $20 a day across 2 ads. Okay. But don't run them as conversion ads. Don't try to make money with it. Run them as engagement ads and use your engagement and getting people to like your page or your group as your metric for how well you did. Test the different copy. Test, here's something really short versus here's something a little longer on the same image or picture or video. Which one is going to get me more engagement and onto the page? Okay, cool. I know to go that direction. Now, next time I run this experiment, when I get paid again, I'm going to start here and add to it.
Right.
And that's how you do it. That's how you learn something new.
Yeah. As you said, there's a lot of money burning on Facebook and it's easy to give up, but it's very much worth it to figure it out.
Yeah. The thing is, a lot of the bigger media buyers will tell you, it's the stuff you do off of the Facebook ad that's going to make the sale or not. The Facebook ad is just a way to get people. It's the line in the water with the right bait. But if you don't have the right experience, it's not going to convert. You're just burning money to put your ad in front of people. That's not going to do anything. So when you want to run Facebook ads, guys, start with the bucket first. Start with your website, start with your group, start with whatever the experience is where you're going to have the conversion, and make sure that is flipping amazing. Because if there's a hole in your bucket, there's no point in pouring water into it. The more straightforward your experience is to understand once they click through, not only are you going to get more clicks, but you're going to get better conversions. And if you make it super easy to understand, Facebook is going to view your landing page and whatever your landing experience is more favorably. Use the Hemingway app, use Readable, make it easy to understand so that the Facebook bot readers that are reading your landing pages and sites can understand it too. Because if it's confusing, you're going to pay more for your ads. Don't do that. Now, I guess the last thing was he talked a lot about content. Stephen, why should I have a Facebook page with running content to it consistently? And if you want to run Facebook ads, guys, if you don't know this, you're still new, and that's okay. But this is a pro tip to keep you going. You need to run that content to a Facebook page consistently if you're going to advertise from it, because the more engagement you have on the page, the lower your ad costs.
Oh.
Yeah. So like I said, when I start something and I have a bunch of content mapped out, I'm going to put it in the feeder and it's going to just drip out because I'm going to get engagement. And that's why I'm always running people new to the group. I'm keeping that engagement going. Why? Because I make more money than that offset in the cost of my ads.
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah.
And then you're also having a warmer audience. It's a double benefit. So I think higher ad costs are like a tax for laziness. This is the way I think about it.
Mamoon says, any take on Facebook instant article for blogging along with my page? Don't have a website yet. So first of all, what is that?
Don't run instant articles.
Don't?
No. Because, instant articles, you're not going to get as much traction there. It's the same thing, guys. If you ever run Facebook ads, do not run Audience Network. Don't do it, because it's going to eat all of your budget and you're not going to get anything from it. Don't do that. Instant articles is very tough because it comes across almost like a native ad. Like if you go to a news site and you see like the banner in the middle of what's going on, that's a lot like it. So when you read something on Facebook, or if you watch a video, the in-video ads that are so annoying now on Facebook, like in the middle of the video, it chops, and that's the idea. How many times do you actually watch that versus you go, oh my God, I don't like that, right? So if you are not having a blog, that's fine. You don't have to have a website. Start a Facebook page. They're free. For crying out loud, go to my group and click on the pinned post at the top that says start here and click on the Knowledge Bombs link. And you'll see how much I've written on just a Facebook page before I started a site for the group.
And in case you guys don't know, your group is called Unstoppable FBA.
Unstoppable FBA.
Unstoppable FBA on Facebook, Unstoppable FBA on YouTube, but doesn't post that much.
Well, okay, now there's a reason I haven't posted a lot on YouTube. I have other things cooking that a lot of people have asked for, including you.
Nice.
I am making sure that all of that gets my priority, because there are some things that I'm going to talk about once all that goes down that are going to be quite ridiculous. I'm giving that my full attention because I get, it must be 20 DMs a day about it.
I'm excited to hear about it.
For like 6 months. But now the other thing is, fair warning, the YouTube has been quiet, and I have another few things that I'm going to make for it here before long, because I know I need to update it. But I have a calendar of probably, I think I have like 90 videos to make that I haven't made for it already, on just topics that are relatable but people aren't talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But again, Q4 is coming, and
Yeah.
I have another thing that everybody's been looking forward to, like I told you about, and God, when we met in Vancouver, and you were like, yes, do that. So I'm doing it. It's taking a minute to get everything done, but it's going to be a lot of fun.
Awesome. Guys, if you're enjoying this video, please click the thumbs up. It'll help more people watch it, and it'll let me know if you're enjoying it. If you're not enjoying it, there's no thumbs down here, is there?
No.
If you're not enjoying it, you have no.
And again, if your questions didn't get answered, I'm going to go back and I'm going to respond to all of them individually.
Brandon Young says, great conversation, guys. What's up, Brandon?
Hey, Brandon.
Thanks for joining us. Leon says, do you run your product Facebook ad from brand page or interest page, or whichever page has more engagement?
Yeah. So if you're talking about what account I run my ads from, it is the page.
Okay.
It is the page. So if you set up like an interest group, like if you're running a fitness product and you have, fitness tips as part of your, whatever your group is, you can say and tell people in the group, hey guys, we have a group sponsor now. It's XYZ brand. I represent them. Let them know. You don't have to know necessarily that you own it if you don't want to tell them that. But the fact that you're introducing it as the group owner, you're automatically a brand ambassador, right? So that's a way to say, hey, it's XYZ group sponsored by blah, blah, blah brand. And now if they see something by that brand, they'll say, oh, yeah. That's the group sponsor. Okay, I know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
makes it easier for people to understand why they're seeing something.
Yep. Mamoon says 2 questions. How many impressions do you wait to have before drawing conclusions on an ad? And number 2 is, what's your troubleshooting process when a Facebook ad doesn't work?
Okay, number 1 is 3 days or 3 times my target, whatever the metric is. So if I'm looking for, let's say, a $20 cost of purchase, if I run $60 CPAs for 3 days in a row, I'll kill the whole ad. Usually 72 hours is what I'll give something to perform. If it doesn't perform, I'm going to kill it. Absolutely. Every time. What was the second question? How do I troubleshoot?
Yep.
Okay. You have to look at your click-through rate. You have to, because again, with Facebook ads, it's more than just the ad. Okay. You want to look at your click-through rate. You want to look at your dashboard for the ads and the ad sets to see, it's doing this or it's doing this or whatever it is. And then you also want to check your on-page stats, right? So if you're running them to a lander, what's your bounce rate? What's your dwell time? How long are people are going to be there? For those of you that are advanced, oh my gosh, you can put a Google tag at a tag manager on the page and check for scroll depth, to where if they get to a certain part of the page, they trigger a custom event, retarget those people that went through like 50% of the page or something, right? So there's a way to do that. You have to check the other side of the ad as well as the metrics of the ad itself to kind of find out what's going on. It's a lot like when we to pull it back for a lot of the Amazon sellers and make it relatable. If you have an ad that's getting clicks and impressions on your PPC on Amazon, but you're not getting any sales, okay, cool. Your ad looks good, but something is off about your listing. Yeah. That's what it's telling you. It's like, oh man, well, I got like 1,000, or 2,000 impressions, and I got like 5 clicks or 10 clicks, but I couldn't get 1 sale. What's up with that? Okay, cool. Something's wrong with your listing. You have to figure out what's going on with your listing and why things aren't working. And guys, oh my gosh, and Arthur Gadsby will tell you this. I'm gonna just shout him out right here because he and I talk in the back channel because he does a lot of copywriting for everybody. Oh my God, go on Amazon. If your listing is not scannable, if it is not easy to understand what is happening there, people aren't going to buy.
Yeah.
So the thing is, when people shop on Amazon, you have to realize people aren't looking for the absolute pinnacle, super perfect, everything is right, stars lined up product for them in that moment. They're not going to do it because they don't have time to find that. You know what they're looking for? The product that looks like it's the least, or the product that looks like it has the least likelihood of being bad. Mm-hmm.
Setting the bar very low.
No. Because you have an idea of what you're expecting. And that's what you're searching for. Oh, this one doesn't look like it'll work for me. This one doesn't look like for me. Right? You're not looking for, you're not going to dig for 4 hours into each little seller account and figure out what it is, even if you're an Amazon seller.
Yeah.
Okay. This looks like it's going to be the best for me. This one over here has a little more to it. Do I value this little bit of extra? Or does this look like a cheaper knockoff? What's really going on here? You're evaluating and you read the reviews, and my reviews are so good because you're trying to figure out, okay, this is what other people did. This has the least likelihood of coming and me being extremely disappointing and feeling like I'm ripped off. That's the behavior subconsciously of how people are shopping.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you make your listing easy to understand, your bullets easy to understand, right? And people say, oh, how do I get better bullets? Make your main topics out there and frame them in white space. Make them fucking easy to read. Oh my God. Because I'm not going to read everything on the page. I'm looking at the pictures. Is it what I want? Scan. Here's a benefit. What do people say? Okay, let me see something else that's like it. Which one is going to be the least bad? Click out, done. Be my mailbox tomorrow. And then I can go on to something else. That's just how people do it. It's a behavioral thing.
Very true.
So if you make your listing easy to understand versus mega keyword stuffing, you'll convert better. It doesn't matter how many keywords you're showing for if you don't convert for them.
True. So to end it, Let's do since we started with Black Friday specifically, not Black Friday, sorry, Q4. Conclusion on how to dominate Q4.
There's a few different levels there. For those of you that are newer to Amazon, or you don't have time, or you're not going to put a ton of effort into building a list, okay, cool, don't. But you need to get your ass on Google Trends, and you need to look at holiday guides and the comments on holiday guides on Google for 2018, last year's data, and find out what the seasonal keywords are and start getting in front of them now. Adjust your listings so you're relevant, start bidding on them, get them moving, shake them out. That's the idea. Go to the, whatever your product is, what are the top selling products in that lifestyle, right? That people are buying, and what are they saying about them? That's the same audience, even if it's not the same product. Can I use some of those phrases to drive that audience over to my accessory product that might be complementary to what is really on the top of their list? If they're already buying, why can't they buy mine too? Those are seasonal keywords. You can do things on Amazon that way because people aren't thinking about it. So there you go. If you are going to build a list, keep it simple. Make it to where people can talk to you. Tell them exactly what you want them to do. Make it simple.
We didn't talk a lot about how to build the list. Quick few words. If you're asking for somebody's email, you're asking for their credit card number. So careful there. You have to give them a real reason. Make it their idea. Give. If your landing page looks spammy, they're going to automatically assume that your emails are going to be spam. How do these ClickFunnels pages convert? Everyone looks the same. There's a lot of words everywhere. All these ClickFunnels pages, they all look the same. But then they should be working if I see so many.
How many people bought into the hype of ClickFunnels, and how many really convert? And how many of those guys know how to drive traffic with higher margins and can keep recycling that ad spend and scale the ad spend just because they're profitable?
Do you use ClickFunnels?
No.
What do you use? Because I used Instapage until they raised the price by like $100.
No. Okay, all right. Right at the end, for everybody here at the end, what I want you all to do, if you want to really know how to run some serious landers without having to pay an arm and a fucking leg for them like Instapage.
It's $200 a month now.
It's ridiculous now. Yeah. So you don't have to run ClickFunnels either. If you buy a domain, you set up a WordPress site, Google WordPress subdomains, and you can make as many subdomains, which are landing pages, to your site as you wish for free.
Is it easy to...
Yes. Yeah. So think about it like this. If I have the Unstoppable FBA website, right, I might say holidayguide.unstoppablefba.com. I might say, deal of the day.unstoppablefba.com. It's a subdomain of your main domain. And it's a little technical, but it's not over your head. Google how to do it. You'll find plenty of people that have step by step on what to do on your hosting platform and how to set it up. It does not cost an arm and a leg, right? And that's how you set it up. And you have control over the whole thing. You can set up your Facebook pixels on all the subdomain pages. You can set up a simple plugin to start collecting emails. You can run the whole thing. And this is how you don't have to use a landing software service. It's kind of like driving, an older car that's full manual. You're responsible for all the happenings, but you're not having to pay for all the technology you don't necessarily need to drive the car.
Yeah, someone said, dude, use Thrive Architect to build your funnels. It's so much better than ClickFunnels and much cheaper and so simple to use. It's awesome from my own experience.
Yeah, Thrive Themes is fantastic. That's absolutely fantastic, a bit to work on. I'm a fan of Enfold because I've been using it for forever, and it's really, really simple and clean, and that's kind of how I like things to be. But yeah, Thrive Themes is fantastic. There's a really, really good series. I forget the YouTuber, but he left ClickFunnels and went to Thrive Themes, and he shows step-by-step over a series of videos on how to build out the entire process using Thrive Themes, and it is the easiest thing in the world. So instead of paying $100 a month for ClickFunnels or $200 a month for Instapages, you're paying like I think it's like $12 a month on SiteGround or something like that to host the domain. And you can set up your WordPress site. You know, maybe it's like $100 to get the theme or something like that. I haven't played with Thrive in a long time, but then you're done.
Mm-hmm.
You set up as much as you want. It's the easiest thing in the world. So you pay for it one time. You know, if you pay $100 versus $100 on ClickFunnels for the month, you're 12 times less expensive for the year, and you have a lot more control.
You can still have a Shopify store next to that?
You can, or you can set up a WooCommerce, or you can set up a WooCommerce site on top of your WordPress and use the oh my gosh, what is it? WP Shopify plugin, I think is the name of it. There's a plugin that connects it to where you can use a Shopify backend. But I haven't personally done that. I have sites on both WordPress, WooCommerce, and Shopify. I talk about Shopify the most because I think it's more user-friendly to set up. I think WordPress gives you a hell of a lot more control. But the reason I have a couple of sites still on Shopify is because there are a couple of plugins that work really, really, really well with this particular user experience for each of those brands. And I hadn't been able to replicate it on WordPress just yet.
Okay.
But yeah, you can understand where I'm talking from. I have a decade plus of experience with all this stuff.
Yep.
So I try everything I talk about. I try to make it as user friendly as possible, and that's why I say here's Shopify. Here's a super simple theme. It's really easy to set up. You don't have to worry too much about it. That's the idea. So there's that.
Well, thank you so much for all the knowledge you've shared with us, Mr. Stephen Black.
I try.
Thank you for your time. Do you usually work this late?
It's it's 7 o'clock. I'm usually doing some back end stuff, or I'm being dad right now. That's my favorite thing in the world, to be his dad. But to be fair, I'll be asleep in 3 hours and I'll wake up at 3:45 or 4 in the morning and go to there. So I'm always up at 3:45 or 4 in the morning, hammering it out, because that's when people don't talk to me, and it's wonderful.
Yeah. That's when sometimes I go to sleep.
I understand, but I would rather, like, I'm after about 3 in the afternoon, my time, through most of the night, it's required of me to be dad, and I don't want to split my attention. I did that for a long time, and it's one of my life regrets. So now I don't. I get up super early when nobody else is going to bother me. My team isn't worried about me. The kids aren't worried about me. Nobody's bothering me, and I can fly through getting some stuff.
And you have time for the gym, man. You have time. It's ideal if it's possible, but it's hard. It's very hard to wake up that early.
No, it's not. Because you know what? What's the pain of not doing it? How distracted do you get at night?
I'm more distracted during the day. I'm very focused at night.
You're very focused at night? Okay, that's fine. But how many people bother you at night? How many other things do you allow into your frame of attention?
Yeah, no, that's why it works. What you do works. That's why. When I went to Lebanon back home for vacation, my jet lag was waking me up at 3:45 exactly, and I was so productive. Like, I would be done with everything that I need to do by the time people are waking up. So it is ideal. It's beautiful, but it's hard.
It's hard. I will tell you, it's easier to go from 6 a.m. to 5 a.m. It's like 3 times as hard to go from 5 a.m. to 4 a.m. That was so much longer for me to get moving.
Makes sense.
Like, going from 6 to 5, it took me like 3 or 4 days. Going from 5 to 4 took me about a month. Like, it was bad. But then I adjusted a few things in my diet to make sure that I was good to go.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it at all.
Well, I'll let you go be dad and let you go sleep because you have to wake up soon. But yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with us. And guys, if you're still watching, thank you so much for watching. If you're watching this later, thank you for watching throughout 90 minutes of Stephen Black Knowledge Bombs. Where can they find you?
Okay, so you guys, you can find me on Facebook. Look up Stephen Black. I have a personal profile and a public profile. The public profile is actually easier to get a hold of me than my personal profile. If you're wanting to message me about something, you can go to unstoppableFBA.com. That's the website where you'll see a lot of articles. If you want to get a hold of me, I do one-on-ones there. And then the Unstoppable FBA group, if you look at the 3 questions and you drop Samer's name, that's an easier way to get in because I know that you've watched the live stream. So if you got Samer's blessing, that's good enough by me. And don't be afraid, guys. I know I have a lot of lurkers in my group that are watching this over here. Don't be shy. Ask about what's here. That's the only way you'll know. Your question is not dumb. Please ask so we can help. If you look at any of the responses that I give to people, I usually go into detail because I want to help. All right. And if I don't know, I'll point you in the right direction.
Yeah. If you're not in the Unstoppable group, you're really missing out.
We have a lot of fun.
We have a lot of fun. And if you're watching this on YouTube, join my group, the Brax Amazon FBA group, so that you can ask your questions live. And guys, click the thumbs up, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. And we'll see you guys next time. Again, thank you so much for hanging out with us for so long.
Thanks, everybody.
See you next time. I hope you liked this episode of the Brax Livecast. If you did, click the thumbs up. And if you want to see more, subscribe and click on the bell to get notified when I post. If you want to watch these live, as usual, there's links in the description to join the Facebook group. And click right here to watch another episode of the Brax Livecast. And you can even click right here to subscribe. So click here to watch the next video. I'll see you guys there. Peace.